Clicked on this video, you're probably looking on how to stretch your 3S Typhon. I'm about to give you the ingredients. If you're gonna do this and you're gonna run an 8S ESC, you probably will have to sand this part down. There's usually two tabs, and then there's another two tabs that hold the ESC down and one taller tab over here in the corner. I forgot exactly what that's for. That'll have to be grounded down, and if you want to run a longer battery in the battery, you want to run a longer battery right here in the battery tray, you will have to cut down right there. For me, I'm gonna be running this on 6S, so I'll have two of these stacked on top of each other, like so. But you definitely will have to cut that down. I also had to cut down my receiver box because my receiver is so big. But everything's cut down. It looks like doo-doo, but it'll work. I'm not mad at it. It'll work. So for these drive shafts on these Creighton chassis, one thing that you need to note is these drive shafts are so long that there seems to be vibration up here in the front half. So what I did is I got this hot racing bearing that comes with this insert. It's a plastic insert that goes in. I did have to file this down a little bit with a Dremel to get it to go over, but once it did, it fits snug, looks pretty decent. And second, mount. I'm just gonna put this up front.
Now you're sticking around, this night's winding down, and I've been feeling kinda lonely.
Look at there, double bearing. Looks pretty nice.
After you talk so loud, crowd is thinning now, and you should get to know me. There's people that say that I'm gonna make it. That doesn't mean the red leather breaks right through, right through. I don't wanna be a superstar, living in a house that's just for show. Take my money, take my time, 'cause I'm running late, call it a mistake.
Okay, if you end up doing this on the eBay big bores, you will have to switch these springs out, which will look like this originally. These aren't stiff enough. This car is so heavy due to running usually, if you're gonna be running a bigger 6S setup like this, where this is 10,000 mAh, big, wide, long batteries, it's gonna be very heavy. So you're forced to go with something much stiffer, like this. You compare that to this, it's just a whole different ball game. Completely different springs. I'm gonna be pairing this with the Pro line. I don't know exactly what the smaller springs are called, but I'm gonna be pairing them with these smaller springs just to make them a little bit longer, because it does help with length here, since those shocks are so long, very long. You can't really put just that bottom spring in. You kind of need something to help with the travel there. But hopefully this fixes the problem I had, because as soon as I put it down on the ground, it was just touching the ground. There was not enough tension in these springs to even keep the car up on its own weight. So hopefully this fix will fix this problem. No more scrubbing. Seems to be very level. No problems. I love it. Utilizing every centimeter of the chassis just about, other than that little small back part. All right, guys, it is done. Fully stretched Typhon. I'm walking you guys through the whole car, piece by piece, because a lot of things have been changed, or I've used pieces from multiple other cars or aftermarket factory companies, my bad. And yeah, I'm gonna start with the tires and move my way back. So for the front, I'm using a medium compound GRP. Obviously, it's a treaded version of it. Pretty good tire, hooks up decent for drag racing. These are really good for speed running, really good speed running tires. And I am running the medium soft slicks in the back. I'll be drag racing this car a lot, pretty much. So I'm gonna run this setup on the car for right now. I'm running the Hot Racing 12 to 17 millimeter adapters on the front with the spacer on it. I forgot exactly what the specs on that spacer is, but it's the adapter with the spacer built in. I'm also running Hot Racing steering blocks. You can't really tell. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm running Hot Racing steering blocks front, just the fronts. And I'm running the Arma upgraded axles, front and back. When you change these axles out, you have to also change out the hexes. Nobody tells you about these wheel hexes not working, or not these technically, but nobody tells you about the stock wheel hexes not working with aftermarket axles, and they're from Arma. So you end up having to figure out some solution. My solution was to run the Bronco TRX4 steel wheel hexes that's 12 millimeter and just adapt it up, and that way I can space it out a little bit also on top of that. For the shock setup front and back, I'm running eBay shocks. These are big bore eBay shocks, pretty cheap, usually about 20, 30 bucks for all four. But the springs are Proline. So these are Proline springs on the front. And I'm also running the smaller Proline spring up top with a eBay stiff spring. Drive shaft is stock 4S V2 drive shaft, but I have a double bearing right here. This is also a Hot Racing bearing. It has the insert in the middle. I had to sand that down a little bit. Worked flawless. Put the brace in, or the bearing support, and this actually is built into the chassis in the back. This bearing support doesn't really hold that bearing all that well, but this one does. This one's perfect. And that's all you have to do with that. I'm running Hot Racing diffs, front and back. Both of them have metal yokes. They have metal diff cups, and the Arma upgraded diff satellite and ring gears. So it's a full metal diff front and back. Running the Hot Racing motor mount brace that braces it right here and right here. So you replace this with that plastic one with a metal one. So this is full metal bracing. You probably need this, or you do need this, if you're gonna be running a bigger motor. You're gonna be running one of these, especially on this chassis, go ahead and brace that. Probably need to brace that. I'm running a Hot Racing spool in this, along with 36 spur and a 25 pinion. Let's move over here. Running a NHX 35 kV servo. You definitely don't need that. Just a pretty good servo. I got it on my deal. Why not? Just threw it in there. I have it on a little servo saver instead of a horn because couldn't find a good size or a nice horn for this thing. Running the Mamba Monster X8S, all paired with a 1515 Castle motor. Pretty good setup. Haven't really tried it yet. I also have a cat pack on this. Hopefully it does the job. Back is pretty much the same setup as the front. These are probably going to be the biggest thing if you're running this, is going to be these. if somebody can come up with a better solution than me, by all means, do it, please. But I couldn't, and I ended up doing the old school way, which everybody else does for their stretch Typhons, which is for the 6S line, is they run these. And I tried them out. They work fine. It's just the bottom doesn't actually line up with the hole. So you're stuck using just the top, which is fine. You know, if this car is going to be going straight down a line, it does not matter. As long as you're not wrecking it bad, this should hold just fine. Stock Creighton 4SV2 wing mount, eBay carbon fiber wing. Put the body on. My cat, I'm about to wave real quick. See if I can get this body on. There's just so much stuff crammed in this car. Well, if you can see it. There she is. All right, we're out here at the test and tune spot. About to set up here real quick. Waiting on everybody to show up. I am the first person here. This is on 6S. Woo! What's you got? A 2.6, 58 mile an hour. That has me like trying to throttle it. That's on me. Damn, man. All right, guys, just not getting home. The Typhon did pretty good. I got some pretty good passes in tonight. I got a 2.6 pass drag racing, which is like not all that fast, but it's moving pretty decently. Hooked up all right. Still kind of spinning real bad up top, and that's on 6S. But I'll put the time right now up top in the corner of that 2.6 that I ran, and the speed run that a little small speed run where I actually ended up wrecking at the ends, ended up running into somebody and tore the arm and bent the turnbuckle. But it'll be all fixed soon, very soon. I already got the parts ordered. Stuff will be here this week. Fix it, be back up and running just like normal, and I'll be ready for racing hopefully next weekend. Get some more videos out. Later.